Just be there now, expanding your awareness of where you are. Just trust what you see, sense, and feel. Where are you?
London.
Mhm.
They're
Mhm.
cobblestones. The first thing I saw, cobblestones. It must have rained earlier because there's mud in between them. There's mud
There
on my
is.
boots.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Not too much, though. I wasn't caught up in it. My boots are black.
Okay.
Dress is red. I have a lot more curves on my body comparatively.
You too. Mm-hmm.
I'm wearing a corset. There are people everywhere. The streets thin. I guess people are out in between the weather.
Mm.
It's not too bright out. It's still cloudy. There are people selling things on the side of the street. Seem to be just outside of their houses. I'm wearing a hat. I know I'm wearing a hat.
Okay.
It's to the side and it's heavy.
It is. Do you sense that you're holding or carrying anything in your hands?
I have a basket. I'm shopping
You are.
for something specific, a perfume.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I the perfume's for the evening time. I'm going to be around a lot of people, many smells. From what I'm seeing, it looks like Victorian era, um, just with the look of the dress, the way that it's trimmed, black trim, lace,
Okay.
light beadwork.
Mm-hmm. Do you sense that you have a particular class? What do you feel?
I dress as if I'm higher class. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not.
Yeah.
I dress nice because I have to appear nice. I have to appear as something.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And your body, does it feel around how old?
32.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And are you walking alone? Do you sense that you're by yourself?
I'm walking alone. I wasn't supposed to be. A friend was supposed to come with me. She didn't show up. So it's just me because I wasn't just going to not go because I can walk alone.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I have a husband. He's somewhere. I don't think I like him very much.
You don't. Mm-hmm.
No,
What are you
uh,
sensing?
that he lives off of my money,
Mm-hmm.
that he came into the relationship with money and he has since gotten rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
So now I make the money, and that's
Mm-hmm.
frustrating.
Do you make money?
The word that came to mind was favors. So it's in the crowded places. It's being seen. It's like adjacent to performance. Like the thrill is the same, the being somebody else is the same,
Mm.
but it's not always on stage. It's everywhere. I am performing everywhere. I am somebody different everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so rarely who I feel I actually am. It's annoying.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like you're always on.
Yeah, it's draining.
Mm-hmm.
And it's to a point where I don't even know how to turn it off. It's just it's become me, but there's some part of me just somewhere deep that's just being kept there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I really am. And I think I know it because it's like I can see myself in a mirror, like a memory, like looking at myself, and like somewhere in the reflection, I see someone on the inside, someone quiet, someone reserved, someone who doesn't want to go anywhere or do anything or be anything, just to just be enough to exist without having to put on airs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a blank stare. My face is round, my eyes are blue, hair is red, curly.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And it's just like a moment. Every morning there's that moment of, there she is. And then putting on a smile, putting up my hair, putting on all of my finery that has been bought for me by patrons who expect things from me, and putting that girl away for another day.
Okay. So I'm curious, let's explore a little bit about some of these performances. Let's move to a day where you are performing for someone, one of your patrons. You choose. Let's move there now. Just be there. Where are you and what is happening?
It's a room near the theater. It doesn't feel like a hotel, but a kind of room that you would rent out for privacy. The walls are like this rich burgundy red with this gold trim, and the lighting fixtures create this dim glow. And there's a settee, and there's an armchair with this kind of floral print on it. And there's a man in there. He's wearing a suit, evening wear. And I am meant to sit in there with him and entertain him.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to touch me. And I let him touch me in some places, though he keeps wanting to do more.
Mm-hmm.
I don't let him do more. At most, it's the hand on my knee. My shoulders are bare. I'm wearing long gloves that go up over the elbow, and he likes to touch me on the bare part between the elbow and the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
He's tried to kiss me a few times. I told him no.
Mm-hmm.
That's always the agreement. They all know that I'm married. It's not a secret. I had to take the man's name. But
Okay.
they pay in gifts, and they pay in tips to be alone, to have me look at them, to have me talk with them and listen to their boring lives and their boring wives. And it's draining. It's so draining.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Where do you go when you're physically there having to hear it? Is there a place in your mind that you might go in order to get through it?
It's a white room. It's nothing that I have ever seen in that life. It's just a room that's brightly lit. No one's smoked in there, so it doesn't have that yellow tone to it.
Okay.
And there's a window, and that's it. It's just a room. And when I'm there, I'm not wearing much of anything. I'm just wearing I forget the name. It's that dress that you wear underneath all the other layers.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I just sit there and I look out the window. There's a tree out there. Sometimes there's wind. Sometimes there's clouds. that there's usually blue somewhere in the sky. I just look at that, and that's where me is.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else that's important for you to know in this scene? Anything at all before we move you?
I think I know who this is. It's somebody, it's a familiar energy. Who is this? Interesting. Okay, I'm getting life adjacent to a spirit. I will just say his name starts with a P out of respect for who I'm talking about.
Okay. Yeah, you don't have to say the name. It's okay.
But
Mm-hmm.
it's like an adjacent life of his. It's interesting because the energy is similar but different.
Okay.
And he's so annoying to me in this life, like in the past life in particular. I'm just,
Yes.
all I want to do is be done.
Okay. Very good. All right. Let's go ahead and we're going to leave this scene and we're going to move ahead to an important decision. An important decision that you make in this lifetime we're exploring. We're moving there now. Just be there, expanding your awareness of this day, all the knowledge dropping in. Where are you and what is happening?
I'm in my home. My husband is on the ground. He spent a long night drinking on my money. And I have arranged for all of the furniture to be removed from the house because I have sold it and I have not given him my forwarding address.
Okay.
And he's on the floor,
Mm.
falling apart. He's angry. There's a redness under his eyes. And he isn't even apologizing. Like, God, I wish he would just say sorry. But he thinks that everything that's mine is his. And I don't think that anymore. I've changed the bank account. I've gotten a lawyer. And I want to be done with him. The amount of things that I did that I didn't want to do to cover his bad habits. Yeah, he's just slobbering on the floor. Oh, I got him a little, yes, I got him a little drink. Oh, it's his favorite. This little bottle of his favorite drink.
Okay.
It has a cork on it, and I set it next to him, and I tell him to go die. Okay.
Okay.
Drink yourself into oblivion. That's it.
All right. Let's connect with him. What does he look like?
Dark features, oiled hair, black. Though it's all messy right now. 5 o'clock shadow. Not quite mutton chops or anything like that. It's just like the side of his beard, basically, on either side. He has kind of big ears. He has blue eyes too, but they seem to have faded over the years. He has wrinkles. He didn't always have wrinkles. I don't even find him attractive anymore. Like, he's just everything that he was, everything that I loved, just not again, not anymore. He's kind of gotten thin, but he has a little bit of a belly. And I don't know why he won't just go see the tailor. It's so annoying.
So he wears his clothes tight?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, it's like he's popped the same button I don't know how many times. It's so gross. Like, just go to a tailor. But then again, that'd be my money. Why do I feel like I told the tailor not to help him at one point? So it's the resentment of, why couldn't you just get enough money to go take care of that yourself? He doesn't even have interesting things to say. It's all, what if? what if scenarios. What if I could be doing this? I could be doing that. I'm such a great man, blah, blah, blah. But he doesn't do anything. He doesn't do anything.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's connect with his energy. And do you recognize him as someone in your life today?
So it's interesting because the energy is similar to my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's interesting to diving into all of this because I'm starting to notice different fractions of people's souls. So it's like dad, sort of, but
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Okay, very good. So I'm curious, what was it about him that you did fall in love with when times were good? Let's go back to a happier day. What was it about him that you did fall for?
He took
Just
me to a park
okay.
and he had picked a flower instead of buying it from somebody. I should have seen it then. I saw
Mm-hmm.
it as romantic though.
Mm-hmm.
And some police officer called him out for it. He wasn't supposed to pick the park flowers. And so he grabbed my hand and we ran across this bridge, went over this pool of water, and the police officer decided not to follow us because he felt bad that I was in tow.
Mm-hmm.
I was wearing these terrible shoes. They're fashionable, but they always squeezed my feet in. So I felt like I was running sideways.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm.
He placed it in my hair. And when he did so, he said he had never seen anybody who liked me before. And he said he had an inheritance
Mm-hmm.
and it was coming. He was just waiting for things to come through. And I didn't have as much money back then. I made a lot of my money, so it's not like I could really judge. At least he had something coming. I was under the impression that he was going to help to take care of me. I liked the theater. I liked my friends. And yeah, he sold me a lot that day
Mm-hmm.
and didn't
Yes.
come through on most.
Okay. All right, let's go ahead and leave him there and moving ahead in time. After you leave him, we're going to move to an important moment. An important moment, something you need to explore, to learn from. We're moving there now. Just be there, expanding your awareness. Where are you now? What is happening?
His funeral, he's dead. It's like his aunt is there, the priest is there, my friend is there. Yeah, most people who are there are my friends. They're not there for him, they're there for me. I would have been fine, but I kind of like the idea that my friend showed up for me and not him. He's being put in the ground. I paid for it. I didn't have to. He drank himself right off. So,
Okay.
yeah, his funeral is respectable enough. I threw dirt on top of him, probably harder than what most widows
Okay.
would do.
Mm-hmm. Do you sense that you were able to divorce him? Did that ever go through?
No,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I didn't care. I wasn't looking to be with anybody else anyway.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm. All right. Is there anyone else that you connect with there at this funeral? Someone you feel a connection to?
my friend,
Mm-hmm.
she has curly black hair, is a little shorter than me, bright eyes. Yeah, that's Heather, who I know in this life.
Okay. Very good.
She looks so doughy. She looks like doe eyes. Just
Mm-hmm.
what's funny is she's not innocent. I know that. Like
Okay.
she and I in that life get into trouble. We are with each other a lot. We've done some things. Uh, yeah, that's why I wasn't looking to get married. Noted. So I was
Mm-hmm.
more interested in her, but that was fine.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, I always got in trouble for the things though. Whenever we were found, it was always me. But I was a bigger name. I was a bigger woman. She's a
Mm-hmm.
smaller woman. And I wore brightly colored clothing most of the time. She wore modest things.
Okay. All right. Very good. All right. Let's continue on, moving ahead in time. What happens next? What's the next important experience for you to explore? Just be there.
I'm at a hospital
Mm-hmm.
and it feels like it could have been an asylum.
Mm-hmm.
The walls are this cream color, the floors are brown. They're, yeah, they're beds. I'm in a long sort of corridorish room and I share it with, I feel like I share it with, I know it's not actually 50. I think it's closer to, 25, 30, but it feels like way too many women. It's a nice facility. I mean, people don't scream a lot. The food is fine. I talked to a nurse a lot. She she had me sign a poster.
Of what?
It was of me. I was
Hmm.
in a show.
You were.
Yeah. It was an old show.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm, it was her mother's poster. She was young and she had it signed for her mother.
Mm-hmm.
She was always nice to me though. Heard me out. Oh, my friend's dead. Uh,
Hmm.
oh, she's dead. Um,
Did you advance much time when you go into this hospital?
I don't feel like I did. Maybe like 7 years. It wasn't that
Okay.
long.
Hmm. I'm curious how you got yourself into this place. What led to that? Let's go back in time just a little bit. How did your life turn out after the funeral? There's something missing here. Let's explore what it is. Just allow yourself to get there.
My friend didn't tell me she was sick.
Mm.
We were together. I had moved in with her at that point.
Mm-hmm. Were you in a relationship?
I mean, as much as you could be in a relationship.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
She was up one night coughing. She was coughing blood. She didn't tell me. I'd been taking things to sleep. A number of things prescribed and not prescribed, and I needed them to sleep. But one night I didn't take enough, and I woke up and she was at the vanity and she was coughing. She didn't tell me she was sick. And I had to go away at one point. They were doing a show. I was called to do a show. Is it York? It feels like York. Anyway, I was called to do a show, and when I came back, she was dead.
Mm-hmm.
I found her on the floor in our room. It had been too long. It had been days. She had soiled herself. I mean, it was awful. It was awful to come in on.
Mm-hmm.
And I held her a long time until the police came and coroner came, or somebody works with that. They took her off, and I couldn't stop screaming. They didn't know what to do with me. They didn't know who to take me to. They tried to take me to the theater manager, and I didn't want anything to do with him, and I wasn't taking what I needed to sleep at night, and I just stayed in that room. I didn't work. And finally, some people who knew me, they tried to visit, and I said some things. I sounded crazy. I said all kinds of things on what I was seeing, and I had seen her, and she's here. I can't go because she's here. Just they wanted to put me in that place. They thought I was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I was.
Were you seeing her?
I thought I was. She was just standing there.
Mm-hmm.
And I would try talking to her. She would just stand there. And sometimes she would cry. It's like she couldn't speak. I didn't know why she wasn't speaking.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
Just fleeting thought. I kind of, without meaning to, I popped forward. I died in the streets. I got out of the asylum. They let me go. I played the part. That's all I had to do. All I ever have to do is just play the part. And this time I got to play the part of the little me inside that room. I let her come out. She's docile and kind. She doesn't say much, and she's quiet, and what a woman should be, and blah blah blah, and just I let her come out. And then they let me out, but I had nowhere to go, so I just sort of walked around for a while, and then I was just done. Broken heart. It didn't feel like, well, it felt like my heart was breaking. It felt like it was going into. Yeah. I just in an alleyway, collapsed, done. It's probably the drugs, probably mixing it with the alcohol.
I see. Okay. Let's put a pause for a moment on this day. And I'd like for you to go back to the theater during your heyday. I'd love to see what it was that you did in the theater. Just see yourself working in the theater on your show. Just tell me what you see. What are you doing?
It was a sort of gentleman's club. I am dancing. It's kind of like the can.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I love it. I love kicking. I love having muscular legs. I love how stupidly the men look at me. I love it. Like,
Okay.
because I think I look ridiculous and they think I look incredible. And that's power. I feel like a clown. I feel like I look like a clown.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm powerful. I've got this eyeliner on and I've got just this stupid dress.
Mm-hmm.
All these wealthy men there, and I'm the one that makes them feel alive. How I dance and how I sing. And my whole life is an act, and I'm paid well for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have to sleep with them. Sometimes I think I do, but
Okay.
I have my limits. I know how to not get pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
But I like money. I like the stability. And so the act just goes on sometimes, but that's fine.
Okay. Do you know what your name is? What do you hear?
Annette.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Very good. All right, let's go ahead and move to that last day in the alley. Mm-hmm.
This is trippy. I am standing above my body.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And I kicked my leg.
You did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
What's going through your mind? What are you thinking?
I did it. I did it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not her anymore.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I'm laughing. And it
You are.
feels like a release. It feels like
Mm-hmm.
relief. Because nobody can hear me laugh. It's fantastic. No one can hear me laugh and say that I'm crazy. No one can take me back to the asylum. No one can tell me to stop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm laughing and I'm loud. And I'm sitting next to my body. And
Okay.
oh, there's a man. He's going to find my body.
Okay.
He finds
Mm-hmm.
it, yells, gets some other, like, there are two guys on the street. He tells one of them to go get a police officer.
Mm-hmm.
They're like slapping my face a little bit, like my cheeks, like wake up, wake up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm laughing. I,
Okay.
whatever.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you have just physically died. And that's how long do you stay in this scene?
Oh,
At
not
some
long.
point. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead now and you feel that pull where your soul is being called.